On today's show, we bring on our so-called competitor and put him in his place.
Let's go. Roll the intro.
All right.
Yo.
Coming to you live from Philly. It's the number one rated Paulie Tony Fusco show.
Yo.
As always, Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco and Tony.
Yo.
You know, all the people listening and watching right now, they're probably noticing this episode coming a little later than our normal ones. You know, we're recording later because, Tony, we were up the other night watching that total embarrassment called the Sixers game.
It was horrible.
Just terrible. An embarrassing loss, losing to the Celtics by 35 points. But don't worry, people. As usual, we have answers, solutions.
Don't worry. We're taking care of it.
You.
Yup.
Yeah, we're going to tell you what went wrong.
Yeah, we're going to separate fact from friction.
Yeah, and what we're also going to do is we're going to bring on this guy. He calls himself a competitor of ours, even though there's no competition, people.
Yeah,
Let's face it, we totally crush him in the ratings. Been doing that for years. Anyway, you know, some people like to call him the voice of Philly radio, which is just totally disrespectful to us and also unfactual, of course.
Ridiculous.
But, you know, now he's just been polluting the airwaves with his terrible takes. So we're going to bring him on and just, you know, educate him, Tony. You know, put him in his place.
Absolutely.
His name is Mike Missanelli. And, you know, by the way, Tony, on the subject of our huge ratings, you know, that's why advertisers are lining up to be on this show. So, in fact, it's time for a message from our latest sponsor, newest sponsor, our good friends at eHarmony. Do you have trouble finding people to date or marry? Well, don't worry. Your days of being a total loser are soon to be over.
Yeah. Now, just to be clear, we don't have to use eHarmony because, you know, we're famous. And also, who the wants to get married? But, you know, they paid us to do this read, so here you go.
So anyway, just go visit eHarmony.com. And, well, I don't know what you do past that because I've never used the site.
Yeah, me neither. No problems in that department.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, there's our ad. Let's just end it there because, you know, we got more to get to.
Another check in the mail.
So let's just get straight in to our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, you know, after that Game 1 domination by the Sixers over the Celtics, you know, just crushing them 119-115.
Wasn't even close.
Philly was just going to run to a sweep. Yeah, but then in Game 2, just an absolute meltdown by the Sixers. Shameful. And, you know, they lost 121-87. But, you know, it was clear watching that game. They completely, totally abandoned their game plan from Game 1. So what we're going to do right now is just get them back to basics and tell them what they need to do. We're going to lay it out. These are keys to the series. Here we go. The first key. More scoring. You know, you can't score 87 points in a game and expect to win, you know. So in the next games, Tony, it's clear the Sixers need to just focus on getting the ball in the basket more.
100%. You can't win games unless you score more than your opponent.
Yup, and that leads naturally to the second key, better defense. You know, you can't let the Celtics score 121 points. You just can't do that, you know?
No.
See, what they got to do is they got to limit the Celtics to fewer points.
Exactly. You never want your opponent to score more points than you. That's almost always going to lead to a loss.
Absolutely. And the third key, they need a winning mentality. You know, it's clear out there, Tony, watching that game. They weren't playing to win. You got to play to win. Isn't that right?
100% right. If you're not focused on winning, then you're not going to win. Simply put.
There you go. And there's our keys to the series. And let's shift over to the Western Conference now, where we got the Lakers playing the Warriors. You know, people out there, they're saying this is a marquee matchup.
Yeah. What marquee?
If it's so marquee, then why is the NBA doing everything they can to hide it? You know, the start times for these games are 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
You know, my hunch, Tony, here's what's going on. You know what's going on. With these low NBA ratings, you know, the league is so afraid nobody's going to watch these games.
You're so right.
They're putting them in a time slot where they know they can win.
Exactly.
Right? You look at the second half of these games around 12 a.m. They're going up against reruns of Night Court and Love Connection. You know,
totally.
It's clear what they're doing. They're just trying to win the time slot and game in the system. Isn't that what's going on?
And it's so deceitful. Obviously, Adam Silver knows if he puts games against entertainment powerhouses like Young Sheldon, the league's going to get killed. And, the other night, I have to say, I had a choice to watch either the Lakers Warriors or the OxyClean infomercial. I chose OxyClean. Always entertaining and educational, too.
Absolutely. You made the right choice there, Tony.
Yeah,
just
100%.
On another topic here with the TV ratings, very interesting story here out of the NFL. Fox Sports and the NFL released a statement. This week they said the original number of viewers reported for the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl was actually too low. They originally said it was 113 million, but now they've apparently done some digging, uncovered some lost Nielsen mail-in ratings booklets, exposed some viewership fraud, and now they've adjusted the numbers to 115 million, making it the most watched Super Bowl of all time, as it should be. And Tony, we always know something was fishy here with the numbers, didn't we?
Absolutely. When I saw that original number of only 113 million viewers, I thought that's way too low. There's just no way. Everyone I knew watched the game. I mean, I must have known 2 million people just by myself who said they watched it.
Yeah, me too, Tony, and that makes 4 million. This is just so, it's disturbing on many levels, isn't it, Tony?
I gotta say, I'm somewhat shaken by this development. I mean, if we can't trust the Nielsen ratings, who can we trust? I've always thought the ratings for America's Got Talent were way too low. The Nielsens say that show only gets a paltry 9 million viewers, but how can that be? I mean, this is our country's premier talent competition, where our nation's finest circus performers, fire eaters, and hilarious jugglers are on display. That show has to be getting 100 million viewers per week minimum.
So true and so beautifully said, Tony. And now to some other news out of the NFL. We haven't been on air since the NFL draft when the Eagles totally dominated every round. And,
Killed
when you look at why they did it, it's easy to see why. They just basically drafted all their players from Georgia and Alabama. That's what they did. And, Tony, we've been ahead of this for years, haven't we? We saw this coming.
Absolutely.
It just further proves what we've been saying for years. There is no reason why NFL teams should have scouts. Isn't that right, Tony?
1,000%. Remember when we were watching the national championship game and I said, why do they bother scouting the country for players? Why not just draft all the players from these teams? Simple. You're done. Scouts watch so much film and go travel all over the country, and that's a complete waste of time. All you got to do is watch the college football playoff and you're done. You got enough players to field an entire draft right there. What are they doing going to these colleges like University of Idaho or South Dakota State?
Just a terrific point, Tony. And
Thank you.
On the subject of total waste of time, this week we've been getting a lot of criticism for a segment we did on the show last week where we talked about how ridiculous it was that the panel over there at ESPN's NFL Live, that they were so surprised by the Aaron Rodgers trade. They're all like, oh, wow, we didn't see this coming. And what they were saying to us, these idiots, is they're saying, well, they were surprised by the picks that were dealt, that the Jets gave up so much and, whatever. People. You shouldn't be surprised the whole time. By that. That was still no surprise to anybody.
Exactly.
Do you really think this trade wasn't going to go through? I mean, the Jets had no quarterback, all right? Aaron Rodgers himself said the trade was going to happen, all right? And,
he said it.
Yeah, frankly, if you're surprised by this news, then I guess anything will shock you. So we're going to bring back another segment we did last week. It's one of our newest segments where we cover other stories like this. It's time for Breaking Obvious News.
Breaking Obvious News.
Oh, look at this, Tony.
What do we got?
The Packers announced Jordan Love is getting a contract extension. Wow.
Whoa.
Couldn't see that one coming, Tony.
Wow.
Just figured they, maybe they would not re-sign him.
Maybe go week to week with him, weekly contract. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one, Tony.
Breaking Obvious News.
Lamar Jackson officially signs his 5-year contract with the Ravens. Wow.
Whoa!
I wasn't sure if that was actually going to happen, but there you go. It happened.
Wow.
Now it's done.
No way.
Yeah, believe it or not, Tony. Well, there you go.
I didn't see that coming. Didn't see it coming.
News. All right. Bad enough that he's on his own show, but here he comes on our show. So let's go ahead and bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
All right, this guy. One of our quote-unquote competitors, we'll say, even though we're winning that battle by a mile. That battle's been over for years close. Anyway. Some people, as we said, like to call him the voice of Philly radio, which is totally just misleading and disrespectful. He spent many years on 97.5 The Fanatic. Now he hosts his own show, the Mike Missanelli podcast on Bet Rivers. We'll do him a favor, get his plugs in. Eagles pregame show on Jacob Media, whatever. They wanted us. But
it's Jacob Media.
We don't even care who they are because they wanted us.
Yeah, who cares how you say it?
They didn't pay us enough, so we're not going to bother learning their name.
They're lucky they got a plug.
Yeah. Anyway, we're having them.
Jakeem might be.
You're not on your show here, Mike. Hold on.
I'm just saying. Jakeem might be in the Middle East somewhere. I think they have a network.
We didn't even finish introducing you yet. So unprofessional.
I'm sorry.
All right, anyway, we're having him on the show here to educate him and teach him how to do broadcasting, which he can't even sit there and shut up for 1 minute while we do his intro. Anyway, Mike Missanelli, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome. I am so glad to be here. Yeah, it was either this or have a proctologist examination. And I chose this, although I'm not
good
so
news.
sure.
I'm a proctologist. I see an asshole on my screen.
Yeah, there you go.
See, you got your little joke.
See, that's what you get for interrupting us. Yeah. Now, let's reel it back in. Let's reel it back in here.
Reel it back. We'll try to give you another start here. Already off to a bad start there. All right. Look, Mike, as we all know, just a terribly embarrassing performance by the Sixers in Game 2.
Horrible.
You love to talk Sixers. People, I guess want to hear what you have to say sometimes. Yeah. I don't know why. But in your so-called professional opinion, what do you think they need to fix, in this series moving forward?
They need to get better players off their bench, first of all. But no.
What analysis there? Okay.
Last night was one of those.
Wednesday.
Okay, let's get Joel Embiid back acclimated to a basketball floor. He hadn't been on a basketball floor for a really long time. I didn't think they were going to win the game. I didn't think they were going to get smashed. And the problem is now that you give Boston this confidence that they're a great shooting team, and that kind of carries over. After their performance in Game 1, the Sixers had them thinking a little bit. And all those baskets that they got on backdoor cuts weren't there.
Yeah, what they were thinking is, where's Joel Embiid? That threw them off, right?
Yeah, they didn't know what to do.
Then Joel Embiid, he comes back. And all of a sudden they're losing. It looks to me like Ben Embiid. Hold on, let me finish. God, this guy, he's a running mouth. Hold on. We need a mute button on this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Let me get my point. They should bench Embiid.
Yeah, bench Embiid.
All right, tell me the probably stupid point you want to make.
Yeah.
So you think they should have not played Embiid in Game 2?
Correct.
Yes.
He was not himself. First of all, how can you have two MVPs?
You can't have them on the floor together.
Most valuable players on the floor. That was the first time.
Never works.
That doesn't make sense. Two most valuable players?
Yeah.
It's unclear who's in charge, in this interview.
Basically, you want them to, when do you want them to unveil Embiid? Like in the game 5?
When he's healthy.
What was your idea
of
when the best time to play him? Or not play him at all through the whole series?
Not play him at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw in Game 1, total domination from James Harden.
Yeah, they smashed him.
Yeah, that's not the best solution. It really is. They have no chance of that Joel Embiid playing in the series. I'm sure you know that. Like, you actually think this team could beat Boston 4 times?
Yes,
with James
yes, they won the first game.
You're a downer. And, Mike, this is why your ratings were never as big as ours.
You're down on the weeds here.
They hear this negativity from you, this hopelessness, and then, it makes them sad.
Yeah.
Tony and Paulie. Let me explain something. James Harden's how old?
33, right in his prime.
He's not in his prime, and there's no chance that he's going to replicate a 45-point effort. So where are they going to get these points?
You know your problem, Mike? You don't have a winning mentality.
Yeah. Just like the Sixers in game 2.
You got to have a winning mentality. You have a losing mentality. That's why we crush you in the ratings.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That's what they should call your show.
You would not play Embiid and the whole thing. I can see that if you would say he shouldn't play in game 2, give more rest. That's even stupid. But then when you go on for the rest of the series and say he shouldn't play, they have zero chance to win. Come on.
All right. You can't read stats, and that's your problem. By the way, the stupidest thing I ever heard was when Bet Rivers hired you. That was
we couldn't believe it. We're like, this guy.
But let's just all right, anyway.
No, let's talk about not playing Embiid. Because I would love
here he goes again.
Like tomorrow night at the Wells Fargo Center, I would love for them to give him the MVP trophy and then announce to the crowd, and by the way, he's not playing because Tony and Paulie Fusco said that they'd be better off without him. I think that's what we should do.
Fusco.
It's Fusco.
And think about the Celtics. They'd be confused. They say, guys, Embiid's definitely playing. Then all of a sudden, there's no Embiid.
Throw their whole game plan out the window.
There you go.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, like I said before, it's a great idea. You guys are ahead of the game. You're ahead of the curve.
Jesus, this is going off the rails, Tony.
Yeah. Let's bring it back in. Let's see what he says about our next Eagles draft.
The Eagles, they dominated the draft.
They killed it in the draft. Would you agree that much there, Mike?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. So you have a brain. Just check.
You have the right take? They killed it in the draft?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something like
We're going deeper here. We're going next level deep here.
He's very excited. Okay, look. Yeah. But don't you think, they got all their top players from Alabama and Georgia. Let me ask you, Mike, why do they have scouts in that organization? Just a total waste of money, if you ask me. Just watch the college football playoff.
That's all you got to do.
That's all the scouting you need to do. Agree?
Yeah, actually, that's a brilliant point. How much money do you think they spend on scouts? Like they spend a lot of money on
we got to trim the budget there.
Yeah, lodging.
You could go to the best teams.
Yeah,
in the
per diems,
SEC.
lodging. They, reimbursement, gas.
Let's let him bury himself here.
Yeah, go.
I never thought about that. That's actually good. Why are they wasting money on scouts if they could just go to the top teams in the SEC and draft guys that you can see on Saturday? I don't think there's anything wrong with that philosophy. Believe it or not.
I watched the game 5 minutes. I said that guy's good. We want him.
Well, it might be the smartest thing you guys have said.
There you go.
I got nothing.
Mike. Now, when you look back at your career, you were sitting there coming up with takes on your own. Do you think now maybe you should have just been listening to our show
the whole
and
time.
Just repeating that?
Yeah, perhaps I should have, because I've never heard. You're right for the wrong. You're suggesting that they shouldn't hire scouts.
Yeah,
and the way football, I guess, has evolved here in college football, I guess you just go to the SEC. That's their philosophy now. So they could trim the payroll, and Jeffrey Lurie could get richer.
Exactly.
I'm stunned here that you Fuscos came up with this brilliant idea.
Oh, see, he can't even compliment us straight.
That was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Trying to be a man and go ahead and admit that the reason you knocked us through the years is because you're jealous that our takes are so much better than your shit ones.
Always.
I don't think I've knocked you through the years. I would have to know about you before I know.
Guess what I know? Guess what I know?
Yeah.
You know what?
Guess what I know?
This interview's coming to an end. That's what I know.
Missanelli, you know who I'm not going to miss? You on this show.
Yeah, exactly. Mike swinging and Missanelli. Guess what? Yeah. You're off this show.
Mike missing the point.
Missing the point. Off the show.
Hey, listen, I'm glad because I've got to call Doc Rivers now and say, don't play Embiid. The rest of the series should be better.
Yeah, guess what? Do that and they'll win. Call your proctologist.
Check. All right. You're all assholes, buddy.
Let me go now. I might not be able to catch him before he leaves the
go. We already done with you. Go.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Is he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
There you go. There's Exhibit A of why we totally kick his ass in the ratings and have for years.
Exactly. He won't be missed on this show.
No, not at all. Anyway, but we don't want to let it ruin what was a terrific show. And obviously, we want to thank our good friends at eHarmony, even though we never
thank you, eHarmony. Oh, are you kidding me?
If it's someone who definitely needs eHarmony, I don't even know if eHarmony can help.
Yeah,
them.
producer Jay.
What?
You said NFL scouts shouldn't waste their time scouting players from colleges like South Dakota State.
Yeah.
Yeah, total waste of time.
Yeah.
Adam Vinatieri, arguably the greatest kicker in NFL history, went to South Dakota State. So scouting him probably was not a waste of time.
Oh, yeah? Well, you want to talk waste of time? Go look at the last 20 seconds.
Yeah. I'm going to be the greatest kicker in history after I kick you in the balls. Yeah.
Oh, good one, Tony.
It's good. Yeah. You're done. That's it. No more.
No. What?
What? Hurry up. Go.
You said the Lakers-Warriors games are starting too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ridiculous.
If those games started earlier, East Coast games would have to get going at like 4 p.m. Eastern time. And people would still be at work. And also, it would be terrible for ratings.
Oh, yeah? Well, on the subject of terrible for ratings, you.
Yeah. You know what else I wish got going earlier? The hitman that we hired to kill you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he needs to get moving.
Let's go already. All right, that's it. We're done. Let's get out of here. What? Go.
You said in your quote-unquote analysis that if the Sixers wanted to beat the Celtics, they need to play better defense.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Yeah, it's clear, bro. What? Yeah?
That's not analysis. That's clear to pretty much everybody.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know what's also clear to pretty much everybody? That you need to die.
Yeah. You know who else plays great defense? Women, when you ask them out. Oh, he's done. He's soaking, Paulie.
This is just in, Tony. On the show next week, booked Nick Foles. Wow. There he comes on the show. Can't wait for that. Hey, in the meantime, follow us on TikTok, subscribe, watch us on YouTube, and listen on the pod. You get that double experience, that knowledge.
Double exposure.
Yeah, there you go. And hey, Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.